Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. It has been almost a year since I last posted and so much has happened, so I'm just gonna fill you in on everything. So the most exciting announcement and thing to catch up on is that I am 4 months pregnant. I am pregnant with a baby girl due January 8th. It has been so exciting. This is something we've been wanting for a while, but we were waiting for our house to be done with renovations, which it finally is. And so it's all timing out so perfectly and we're so excited. I could go into so many different details about pregnancy and looking forward to having a baby, but I would love to hear if there's any topics you guys are interested in. I will be showing you guys the nursery. So because my husband is a touring musician, we're timing a lot of stuff out with his schedule, so we had to do the nursery a little bit earlier than most people normally would. But I'm actually really excited about it because now I get to enjoy decorating and nesting and doing all those things throughout my pregnancy, especially during the second trimester while I'm feeling good. It's really fun to start working on all that stuff. We're also in the process of prepping for our baby shower. We're having it a little bit earlier than what is typical due to Brandon's schedule. So we're gonna have it in September towards the end of my second trimester, which I'm actually excited about because it'll be before I'm feeling really big and tired again. So my mom, my sister, my mother-in-law, and my sister-in-law are all hosting, but they all live in different states. So we're having it at our house here in California, and it's gonna be our first big party since we've renovated our house, and I'm so excited for friends and family to come see our house and just to celebrate, and it'll kind of be like a housewarming party as well in a sense. So I'm really looking forward to our baby shower. I've been working really hard on the registry. I have been looking forward to having a baby for so long, and I'm really just trying to soak in this time, and I've always been excited about creating a registry and doing all of that. So if you guys are interested in seeing some of my selections on there, because something I've loved doing over the last few months is watching registry videos on TikTok. So if that's something that interests you guys, let me know. But yeah, I'm feeling so overwhelmed with love and support by all of our friends and family. We've already had some gifts come in, which is so exciting to start actually having tangible things for the baby. It just makes it feel so much more real. So besides pregnancy, the thing that has taken over my life for the past year is renovating this home. So one of the last videos I shared last summer, it was almost exactly a year ago. It was the day we got the keys to the house. I filmed an empty house tour and kind of went through some of the things we were gonna be doing. A lot of the things that I said were gonna happen probably changed from that video, but we are finally done. We completed, the last thing we had to do was one of the bathrooms, and we completed that about a month ago. And then we also started working on the nursery, which had been just a storage unit up until a month ago. But it is so exciting to have a completely finished house, and it is my dream house. It is everything I wanted. It is actually way better than what I originally pictured when I first came into the house, as you know, creatively as ideas evolved, and Brandon gave some of his ideas, one of which was removing a wall going into the kitchen, which I at first weirdly did not want to do, but it ended up making the house feel so different and so much larger and grander. So very happy I listened to him. He does have some good ideas. So I'm a bit of a control freak, especially when it comes to our house and stuff. But he is a great collaborator and has really great taste. So it's been really fun working on this house together the last year. And we did pretty much everything ourselves except for electrical and plumbing. So it was a huge undertaking. So today I'm going to give you a tour of the house. It is not currently styled the way I would do for a photo shoot or even like a proper video shoot, but it is clean and everything's pretty much done. So I thought it would be cool to show you guys kind of a brief overview of everything we did. I would like to do a more professional room tour video of either the entire house or maybe room to room, kind of how I did in our apartment. So that'll be a lot more detailed and a little more put together and refined. Today is just kind of a normal day where my house is clean and I'm feeling good about it. So I think I'm gonna start with the nursery because the lighting in that room gets so dark towards the end of that day. And it's the thing I'm most excited to show you guys. So we will start with that. There are a lot of paint touch-ups that still need to happen throughout the house. So if you see anything like that, just ignore it. But I don't know if it'll come across on camera. So without further ado, let's take a little tour of the house. So unfortunately, it is already starting to get kind of dark in here. But we have done a lot. The main thing we did was add a chair rail to these walls and then do wallpaper. This wallpaper is inspired by Ludwig Bemelmans, the author and illustrator of Madeline. And I love Bemelmans Bar in New York, so I really wanted something that evoked a similar vibe with all these little animals. There are quite a few bunnies in this wallpaper, and then also this giraffe. So we took inspiration from that for other parts of the room, and we have a lot of bunny things. We have this bunny lamp from Pottery Barn Kids. These are from Hobby Lobby, actually. They're only $3 and will go as the knobs on there, but they're really big, so I need Brandon to cut that down when he's home. But this changing table was in the street in our neighborhood for free. And it was wooden, but it was very worn out. So it either needed to be refinished or painted. And we painted it this butter yellow, and I love the way it looks. It also has this really great cane detail. And then these drawer pulls are from Amazon. I think they look really good and kind of high end. So I'm very happy with that because those were very affordable. And then this changing table thing is from Pottery Barn Kids, as well as the pad and the changing pad cover, which has drafts on it to match with the wallpaper. This little bunny was my sister's when she was little. My cousin Gabriella is also pregnant. She's due in August with a boy. And when she found out we were pregnant, she got me this little book, Will You Be My Friend? And this jelly cat rattle. So we had a bunny theme going on before we got the wallpaper. And then also my brother-in-law didn't know that we had a bunny theme going on, and he got us this little, I think they're called loveys, these little things. I'm learning terminology for baby stuff, but so cute. I love the little bunny theme. And then when I was in Des Moines with my mom, this is one of the first things she got for the baby. It's this little hat with bunny ears. It's just so freaking cute. I can't get over it. Cannot wait to see her actually wear these things and play with these things. And then this was something that was on our registry, a diaper bag and a bottle bag. I didn't think that I was gonna want a traditional diaper bag, but I realized I did want a backpack just because I get really bad shoulder pain. And so I knew a backpack would be more practical. And I also wanted something that Brandon could use if I wasn't with him, or something that he would just feel comfortable carrying. And I went to the Babylist store in Beverly Hills and saw this in person and fell in love. But the inside is this adorable gingham, and I love all the different compartments. Comes with a changing pad. It also has another zipper attachment back here. And then one of those things on the back where you can slip it onto a suitcase. So I'm in love with this. My aunt and uncle got me these, as well as the Lalo high chair, which I have not opened yet. So these are some of the other things that need to be put together. My cousin Gabriella got us the crib. I'm so excited to get the crib in order. It's gonna really complete the room and make it feel like a real nursery. And then my mother-in-law's cousin got us this Graco swing rocker thing. I'm so excited about these things. I cannot wait to put them together. The other two major things we need for the room are a rug and window coverings, which we're gonna be working on that in August. But I got this little bookshelf on Amazon. It's a great deal. I think it was under $150. It was a pain in the ass to put together, but I think it looks so cute. We have a lot of scallop details going on throughout the room. The crib also has some scallop details. And I love having a place to put books and toys. This isn't styled the way it's going to be, but I just have some stuff out that I currently have on hand. Both of our parents have given us a lot of books that we had when we were children. So a lot of these are Brandon's childhood books, and then a lot of them are mine as well. I posted this on my Instagram story yesterday. Did anyone else have this Madonna children's book? I think it came out when I was a little bit older, maybe like 10 or 11, but I remember reading it with my sister, and the illustrations are so cute. I loved this book so much. And we were in Japan when we found out I was pregnant, so we got a few things in Japan, including this little Sylvanian family and this Moomin book. My dad would get me Moomin books when I was little, and he would go to Europe, so this is one of the Moomin books I had growing up that I loved. And then this was my radio flyer that I basically lived on when I was a toddler. A family friend got us this glider recliner chair. I am in love with it. I love sitting in here and reading kids' books and just thinking about what our baby's gonna be like. It's so fun sitting in this chair and just imagining and journaling and doing all those things. This little stuffed animal was my sister's when she was little, and I loved this thing so much. It's so cute. The little details of the patches on the sweater and the little dress. I've always found this to be adorable. And my in-laws got us this draft basket from Pottery Barn Kids, as well as this little bunny stuffed animal. And I can't wait to fill this with more stuffed animals. And we've been debating on whether or not we want to keep this closet open without a door, and I think we are gonna actually do it. So we need to remove the hardware and paint over all that. But I feel like it makes the room feel a little bit bigger, and because it's so cute in the closet and I like seeing her little clothes, I think it'll be really cool to have it open. Also, an annoying thing is that this door would swing out into this door, and I kind of felt like it was a safety hazard. So I think it's for the best that we leave the door off. And then we painted this little dresser. I got this cart from Amazon. It's a little basket bag I'm gonna put more stuffed animals in. And then we have some clothes. A lot of them are mine and my sister's from when we were babies. And then a few of them are new. This is a gift from a friend. And this is a little Ralph Lauren dress I got in Palm Beach a couple weeks ago. I could not resist. It's so cute. I also got this in Palm Beach. It's a Lily Pulitzer onesie. I got it at a consignment store for $10. So I was stoked about that. And then these were in my sister's nursery when she was a baby. I had these in my bathroom in our apartment, but these will get hung up. I think they're gonna go either right there or above the crib with something in the center. On this side of the wall, we're gonna put 2 shelves to put books on, and it'll be similar with the scallop, like how this shelf is. Another thing we got in Japan are these baby Onitsuka tigers. I was convinced that we were gonna have a boy, but we needed to get gender neutral anyways, just because we didn't know. But so in hindsight, if I knew we were gonna have a girl, I would have gotten the floral ones, but I still think these are very cute, and I'm so excited to see her wear these. I got some that are very similar with their green and white, so we will be matching. But that is the baby's room. I hope she loves it. Something I forgot to show is this overhead light. We also got that from Pottery Barn Kids, and we painted the ceiling blue. I did not expect it to be this blue. The sample was a completely different color. I don't know what happened, but I actually kind of like it. It's pretty cute. And this was something I did not like. I think I may have mentioned this in the video of the empty house tour, but our room is connected to the baby's room by this door. And I was not really liking that when we first moved in, because I didn't like that it was like not 3 separate bedrooms. But now I'm kind of happy with it because it'll be so nice to have easy access to this room to change her diapers, and even if I want to just get out of bed and nurse and be in here in the middle of the night, it's going to make life so much easier to be closer to her and to have access to this room. So let's start with the first room in the house, which is the dining room. This room looked a lot different the first time I showed you guys. So the main thing we did, as I already mentioned, is take this wall out right here. And we also made this entry a little bigger to match the size. So this opened up the space so much. It's crazy that this was just a wall right here. This room really didn't function as anything because this was not the dining area. This was, and it was really annoying because having a table right here and this being the only entrance into the kitchen, it was very choky. So there was not a lot of space. And then there was just this kind of awkward area where originally we were gonna put a TV on this wall and have it be kind of a TV area, but we have a TV in the back room. So I wanted this room to be more geared towards entertaining and to just be light and airy and be a bit more formal. So in order to make this area a more formal dining room, we put a chandelier right here. There was no overhead light on this side of the room, so we added that. We also added these sconces. Those are from Valora. I love these sconces so much. They are alabaster and they're so pretty and so understated, and they just add so much to this room. We added a chair rail around the room, and then above, this is Serena and Lily wallpaper. I had my eyes on this wallpaper for a while because it is in my friend Cameron's house in Georgia, and I was in love with it, and I knew I needed to have it in our dining room. And it is just so elegant and beautiful and makes this room feel very tranquil and relaxing. The dining table was a Facebook Marketplace find, and I painted it a creamy white. This rug was in our apartment in our dining room, so I've had this for a while. It's a gorgeous antique rug. And then in this bay window, we used a few different window coverings. The drapes, these sheer drapes, are from Pepper Home, and this pattern actually matches this pattern on the wallpaper so perfectly, and that was a coincidence. I did not plan that, but it was a very happy accident because how perfect is that? That's crazy. And we partnered with Hunter Douglas throughout the house on a lot of our windows on all of the Roman shades. So these are their Provenance woven wood shades. And I will show you throughout the home how gorgeous they are in different settings. These ones have a privacy layer, so they don't let as much light through as some of the others that we have, but they're still gorgeous nonetheless. And even with the privacy, they do filter a lot of light, which is really nice. But then at night, when we're in here and we don't want people to see in, we close them and you cannot see in through the house at all, which is amazing. But these are all custom, and it just creates such a formal, elegant look to have custom window coverings. And then this little entry table is also a Facebook Marketplace find. And I have just some random antiques styled on here. Normally I have plants in there, but they recently died and I'm about to go out of town, so I did not want to replace them yet. But I like having these little terrariums with our cats because they chew on plants. And if we have it covered, then they obviously cannot get to it, which is great. And then over here, we have this little hutch. We didn't have enough room, unfortunately, to have a grand hutch. I loved the hutch that was in our apartment, but I made do with displaying items in some other places. So over here, I have my cabbageware plates, and I have a lot more of that kind of stuff in here, as well as some crustacean pieces. I have a lot of lobster and crab serving dishes and just a bunch of random antique dishware. We did still end up getting a TV in this room, but we went with a Samsung frame because I did not want an ugly black box when you come in. It needed to be beautiful. But Brandon wanted a TV in here because he does like sitting at the couch or even at the dining table and watching games while I'm cooking. And it just makes it have a little bit more of a community feel when there is a TV. So I knew if we were gonna do it, it had to be a Samsung frame though. Like it had to look beautiful when it's not on, which I am really happy about. It looks so good. And then, so this, which was the original dining room, is now just a little reading nook, a little hangout area. And eventually this will probably turn into more of a play area, and we'll switch out stuff over here, and it'll evolve as our baby gets bigger. Found this sofa on Facebook Marketplace. It is not in the best condition. It's clean, but it is faded in weird areas. So yeah, excuse that. But I just love the way this turned out. And one of my favorite things about this part of the room are the Hunter Douglas shades. So over here, we have motorized ones. So I have this little remote, and you just press open, and it opens. But unlike the bay window, these ones actually have a separate privacy screen. So you can make that go separately. And these are full blackout. And we have this in a couple other rooms as well. And I love it. It is so convenient to just push a button and have your windows open and close. But as you can see, these shades, when they don't have the attached privacy screening, filter so much light, and they're the most beautiful. I have had my eye on Hunter Douglas's woven wood shades for so long, and I'm so happy that they partnered with us on our house because how gorgeous. A few things I love about Hunter Douglas's woven wood shades is that they're so organic looking, and they bring so much warmth and texture to the space. This room was so different before we had these installed, and it just elevates it so much. And this material from Hunter Douglas is called Millhouse in the color Burlap Sack. It's also what we have over here. It's the exact same, except for the privacy screening in the back is different on these. And now going from the dining room over to this hallway, this is our guest bedroom. I have been loving having a dedicated guest bedroom, even though someday this will probably be a kid's room because we plan on having more than one kid. But for now, it is an amazing guest room for our family to stay in, and so many people have already been in this room, and it's gotten so much use, and it's very serene and relaxing. I wanted to go for a beachy theme in here because I had a few things already that I kind of based the theme off of. So this bird print was one of them. I had this above our fireplace in our apartment. And then my peacock chair, you guys probably remember this in my apartment as well. I didn't have a really great place to put this, so I kind of just made the theme of this room match that, as well as this dresser that was in our bedroom in the apartment. So I got a few more pieces of art that really matched the theme I was going for. I actually had that one already as well. And then this is a map of Los Angeles that I got for Brandon a while back because he loves maps. So I thought that went with our Southern California coastal vibe of the room. And then a bunch of California coffee table books. This headboard and nightstand were both purchased at a consignment store. And then I got this bedding at Home Goods. It was the William Morris collection. I thought it was very clean and pretty looking. And once again, we have the motorized Hunter Douglas woven wood shades in this room as well. This is the Nottingham shade in the color Ashby Quilt. These are a bit darker, a bit more beachy, so I thought they went really well for this room. But yes, they are motorized, which is so cool for guests to be able to experience this as well. I think it's so fun. And they also have an app that you can have on your phone or on an iPad that controls all the shades as well if you ever lose your remote or anything. And you can do it from away from the house if you're not home, which is really cool. You can also put them on a timer. There's all sorts of cool things you can do with these shades. But yeah, that is our cozy guest bedroom. This is the guest bath that we literally just finished a couple weeks ago. I was really not sure if I made the right paint color, to be honest. A similar thing happened with the nursery, where the sample looked quite a bit different. That happened in here. But once we started, I was like, let's just see it through and maybe it'll turn out okay. I think that I am starting to like it more than I originally did, especially with some of the styling and stuff that we've done. This was the vibe I was going for. I got this last week or 2 weeks ago when I was staying in Palm Beach at the Breakers, and I really wanted a Palm Beach pink and green type of theme. I don't know if these green walls were the best choice or if we should have gone with pink, which was what I originally wanted to do, and then I kind of changed my mind. But let me know what you guys think. I am not attached to this color by any means, but I also don't want to repaint. So it's kind of just out of laziness, I'm succumbing to being okay with this. But we added these terrazzo floors. We got this shower curtain from Anthropology. This was another inspiration for the vibe I wanted to go for. And yeah, these mirrors and these pendant lights are original. And this bathroom is just so glam and 50s and cool. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I don't know if this was like a really bad miss on my part and if it should be repainted. I don't want to though. All right, and now going into our kitchen. We actually, believe it or not, did not do a whole lot in this space. This was a very budget renovation. I wouldn't even call it a renovation per se. We just made some cosmetic upgrades that really impacted the space a lot. So the main things we did that I think made the biggest impact, we got a new fridge. It was black before, so having a silver or a stainless fridge really helped modernize the space a bit in a good way. And then I painted this hood yellow as well as the dishwasher panel. I did not know if this was going to be possible. I started with the dishwasher panel because if that got messed up, that could easily be replaced. The hood is original from the 50s, so I was really scared about messing that up. But I used a paint that worked. It was like a very high duty paint for metal, and it worked out perfectly, and I've had no problems. This has been painted since last November or so. There's been no chips. Everything still looks really good. But the tile and the cabinetry are all the same, and then the oven and the microwave, that's all the same. Countertops, none of that has changed. We did add wallpaper. This is Autoline wallpaper that I got from Anthropology. We added that and also did a chair rail in here. I filled this cabinet with some of my favorite antique dishware. This is my main area where I cook, and it's so nice to have an island where people can sit. I've never had that before because our apartment definitely did not have that. We had a small galley kitchen, so this kitchen is just so much bigger and airier, and it's so great to have people hang out with me in here while I'm cooking. This counter was always butcher block, but we sanded it and refinished it, and it looks a million times better. And then I cannot believe that this was just a wall. So this room was a lot darker and it just had a completely different feel. And so like to get to the front of the house, you had to go that way. It's so crazy that you couldn't see this window, and it's so much better like this. This light is also from Valora. I love the burgundy and the blue theme. I went with that a lot here in the kitchen as well as our laundry room. I was very inspired by French cooks and just generally chefs of the 1950s and 60s like Julia Child and James Beard. So I really went with that kind of vibe in this area of the house. Here is little girl. One of these photos, I think it's this one, she is kicking me. She was kicking a lot during that ultrasound. It was so funny. I got a KitchenAid mixer for Christmas from my parents. And yeah, so this window, we did the same exact setup as the bay window in the dining room. So these are Pepper Home shears and the Hunter Douglas woven wood shades. And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm getting out of breath, but pregnancy makes your lungs and ribs and everything move, and it is actually making it hard for me to talk for this long consistently. Another thing that I think was really impactful in here was adding this little rack to display my copper utensils and things. I got this off of Etsy, and I think it really helped to have kind of more of a focal point right here because there's just a lot of white, and I don't love this tile pattern, so it kind of distracts from that a little bit. Another thing I have throughout here and in the laundry room is spongeware. I started a spongeware collection in the last couple of years, so you'll see some of that throughout. And my copper items. These counter chairs are from Serena and Lily. I love these so much because they are so incredibly durable. You can literally take them outside and hose them down. So it's gonna be amazing when our kids get older and are making messes on here because they are very easy to clean. And they're just so fresh and pretty. And I love adding modern elements like this where it is kind of vintage inspired and goes with the theme, but it really elevates it and makes it feel more modern in a way that I really like. Because one thing I kind of struggled with, and I feel like a lot of people maybe do when they really start to get into vintage and antiques, is your house kind of looking like an antique store. And that is something in the last 5 to 8 years I've really tried to steer away from. So I think with this house, it for me is the perfect blend of new and old and all the things I love, all the aesthetics I love. I feel like I have found a way to really combine them and make them work and feel cohesive in a space. All right, and now from the kitchen, you go into the laundry room, but it's actually kind of an extension of the kitchen in some ways. So we have this little coffee station. This, when we moved in, there was a freezer here. So this had this little nook area where the freezer sat in. So I thought that would be perfect to have some shelves. These floating shelves are from Shelfology, and they are a custom size to fit perfectly in this space. I have loved working with Shelfology. These are so durable. As you can see, I have an insane amount of books on here, and they are so sturdy and really stay in place, which is great. And we have this little table that I got at an antique store, and I cut it to fit perfectly in here as well. So that was a little custom thing we did. And then under here is a cat litter box, but you cannot see it. And we got our espresso machine and our little coffee and matcha setup. And then all my vintage cookbooks. I love seeing these displayed, and some more of my spongeware. This sconce is also from Valora and matches the light that's in here. I love having this little sconce in here. That was not there before, so that was something we had our electrician add. I believe I showed this in the last video, but this oven is teeny tiny. And originally I was going to figure out a way to replace it or make it bigger, but I actually love this oven. It's an old Miele and it works really well. And although it is not the ideal size, I'm fine with keeping it and I really like it. And if appliances are working, I don't want to just change them out just for aesthetic reasons. I actually am, this is gonna sound weird, I'm okay with these looking very outdated because it kind of has a 90s traditional feel. I don't know how to explain. I think the best way to explain it is in the McAllister house in Home Alone. They have all black appliances, but it fits the vibe with their traditional house. I think these work, so I'm just leaving them until they die. It's fine. But anyways, with that being said, I knew I wanted a really nice air fryer. So my parents got us this Breville air fryer, and it really helps to be able to cook multiple things at once because you can broil and do all sorts of things with this, and it works kind of like a real oven. And then we replaced the washer and dryer. If you guys remember, there was tiny little itty bitty Miele washer and dryer. You could barely fit anything in it. So these are way more functional and a lot better. And then we added this butcher block countertop. And then I took the cabinet doors off of this, and I'm using this to display all my collections since I can't have the big hutch that I wanted. This piece of art is one of my favorite things in the house. It is from the James Beard Fireside Cookbook. It actually came with this. It was the cover. So it's the back side of the cover. If you opened it up, it turned into this poster. And I love it so much, and I really used this as inspiration for the vibe of the kitchen and the laundry room. But in here I have all my Pyrex and jadeite and other dishware, and it makes me so happy. I love the colors, the pinks, greens, and blues. I love my laundry room so much, and it makes folding laundry so much more enjoyable to be able to look at all this. In here we have the Hunter Douglas woven shade in Nottingham and Ashby quilt, but this one we have a manual. So you just go like that, and then the privacy shade drops. And I believe I shared in my last video that I was concerned about hiding stuff back here, like all that. And so I just got this little shade, and it turned out perfect. It matches what we have here and also over there, covering for the cat litter boxes. And this was another thing I loved about this house and this room is all this storage. It is so nice to be able to put all my cleaning stuff, my vacuum. I had our electrician add an outlet to the inside so I can charge my vacuum. This is kind of like an extended pantry area. It's so great to have all this storage. And now from the laundry room, this hallway takes you into our bedroom. And here I have a lot of my cat art, another Valora light fixture, my Margaret Keane big eyes. And speaking of cats, this is their favorite place. So we have two Siamese cats. That's Dahlia, that's Kevin, and then we also have a calico named Abra. I'm sure she's in our back room right now. But this is our bedroom. It is very relaxing and serene in here, which was the vibe I wanted to go for. Oh, he's a baby Kevin. This bed is from Joybird. I absolutely love the green velvet headboard. It's so pretty, and it is a full bed, so it goes down to over here as well. And these nightstands were a Facebook Marketplace find. That's actually the last thing I need to do in this room is I want to paint the nightstands because it was never my intention for the nightstands to be the same color essentially as the walls. I'd like them to have a little bit more of a pop. So maybe a pale pink or a pale yellow, but I just feel like this wall looks a little drab on the sides and it needs something, there's something not right. So I feel like painting the nightstands will help with the issue I'm having. The art above the bed is all vintage airline posters I got in Paris last summer. I went with a bit of a Parisian theme in here. Oh my God, Kevin, you're just too cute. This dresser was in our bedroom in our apartment, but it was just white. And I wanted a pop of color and some red in this room, so I painted these red stripes on here. It's a bit bold, but I really like it. And then these Anthropologie drapes, they're like a tweed, and I really, really love these so much. Oh, that's a little boy. That is a little boy. I think you're gonna fall off the bed, Kevin. Why are you crying? Hi, Dahlia. This dresser is also from Facebook Marketplace. I loved the marble top. And I just have some of my cute little things. This is Brandon and I in Versailles last summer. And then as I mentioned when we were in the nursery, this is the door that connects the nursery to our bedroom. So someday when our kids are older, if we're still living in this house, I think what I want to do is my original plan to just extend the closet to be this entire wall and have it be more of a wardrobe without the mirrors. I think that would be great to have more closet space and to just have it feel more custom with nice doors and, you know, the inside of it be all custom to what I want to do. So someday maybe that'll happen. Okay, bye guys. Bye. This is our bathroom. This is the one thing about the house that I did not love, but we have this tiny little bathroom as our master bathroom. I do love the counter space, so there are some things I really do like about this bathroom, and that's one of them. I love the original blue tile and the blue sink. We added this wallpaper, which is from Anthropology. I wanted to tie in the aesthetic that we went for in the bedroom, kind of French antique, so tied that in. I think it works with the blue. We use the same red in here that we have in the laundry room. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about this bathroom. All right, I'm almost done with the tour. So bedroom, bathroom. Now coming through the laundry room, you enter the office area. I love that this house has a dedicated office. It is one of my favorite things about it. We added this Bradbury wallpaper. I love that it makes it feel like nature has been brought in here. Oh, I love it. I love the pink and the green. I also love the pink with the brown. So this was one of the big projects we did in here. This, if you guys recall, had cabinet doors, and this was a closet. But I wanted a place to display some more things in here, and so we took the closet doors off, and then my father-in-law built out this whole little setting. And then under here, I will not open it because it's a bit scary looking right now, but we have our printer and a filing cabinet, and it's all very easy access with these curtains. And I can even use this as a standing desk, which I do sometimes, but I love having all this displayed in here. And this desk is built in, so that was here when we bought the house. And I just love all the storage in here. This light is from Valora, and we painted the ceiling green. This is the same green that is in the dining room. They're all Chip and Joanna Gaines's paints at Ace Hardware. A lot of the paint in our house. These two definitely are. So if you're interested, I can dig up the paint we used, but I really love this pink. It's like the perfect neutral pink. And if I paint the nightstands in our bedroom pink, I think I might use this color. All right, and then from here, you enter the family room. This room was a wood box before, and there was also white carpet in here. So one of the first things we did, the very first project when we first moved in, because I hated this carpet so much, we took that out and then we installed this ourselves. It's actually from Home Depot. And it looks really nice. Even though it's not an expensive flooring, I feel like it really does look good. And in an effort to keep the feeling of the room with the wood, because I know a lot of people were very concerned that I was gonna paint these walls and then lose the vibe of the room. I think I made what I wanted to do work while also keeping the original charm of this room. So we added this chair rail and then just painted this creamy white below and left everything else natural wood. This sofa is from Joybird. It is so comfortable. I love this sectional. I have never had a sectional because our apartment did not allow for enough space for one. So it is so nice and cozy in this room, and especially during the holidays. And now we just got our fireplace serviced for the first time, so we'll actually be able to light a fire for this Christmas. It's gonna be so nice in here. In this cabinet, I have a few different collections. I have all of my vintage etiquette books. I have a lot of rare books in here. I have almost the entire collection of Emily Post books, and a lot of other fun things. If you're interested in a etiquette book collection video, I can make that for you guys. I also have my tiki mugs. And then a bunch of Better Homes and Gardens and other interior design magazines from the 50s and 60s. This is one of the first things I bought for the house. Right after I filmed my last video, I went to Chicago and I got this little guy. We call him Walcott. He's, I think he might be a fox, but I call him a wolf, Walcott the wolf. But I love him. He's like a little butler with candles. Thought that was so cute and added a little bit of a whimsical vibe over here. And then over here, that little bench is also from Joybird. And we have this little game table set up. I love the Dutch door. It was one of my favorite original details of the house. Have another table. Have a lot of old family photos in this room. This is our gorgeous lemon tree. Our backyard still needs some work, but it looks a lot better than when we first moved in. But now that the house is done, I will start focusing out there. It's kind of been a little neglected. And here's Abra. Hey, Abra. This sectional is just the coziest. It's the best. Joybird makes the best furniture. And Abra loves it too. These bookshelves are from Amazon. They were extremely cheap. I think they're actually Honeywell brand, so they are not high-end at all. But somehow I feel like they kind of, with the styling, look way nicer than what they actually are. But I wanted something open that could fit all my records and books, and I just could not find anything that worked. So I got two of these cabinets. They're kind of like the IKEA style ones, and I think it turned out perfect. We hung our TV. This is a Roku, and if you guys don't know, Roku TVs can have the background images like the Samsung frame. So that's a cool upgrade on Roku. On our fireplace, we added this mantle from Shelfology, which I think really changed this fireplace so much, allowed for more of a focal point on it, because it was just so tall and there was nothing really going on besides the brick. So I feel like that helped break it up and make it look a lot nicer. And we have Sonos speakers and sound bars throughout the house. And this record player is also from Sonos. It's not Sonos brand, but we got it from them. And we got just a lot of family photos and a lot of sentimental things throughout this room. Hi, little girl. I got this coffee table from Magnolia and Willow, which is an antique store that I have a booth at. Yeah, that's kind of everything going on in this room. So this is the last room that we have Hunter Douglas shades in. We have the motorized in here as well with the detached privacy. So that is just the front layer, and then if you want full blackout, which is really nice if you want to watch a movie during the day, you can get full darkness in this room, which is also great because this room has a door, so we could technically have guests stay and sleep on the couch and it would be completely pitch black in here. These shades just make me so happy. They're so pretty and they elevate every single room that they're in. I was originally going to make this video kind of more of a vlog and show a little bit more of my day, but to be perfectly honest, I am so tired and out of breath after talking for that long, which is so sad. I feel a little bit pathetic. But I think this video is kind of getting long enough anyway, so I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing my completed house. As I mentioned, I will be filming videos that are a bit more professional and in-depth and show a lot more detail. And maybe in future vlogs, I'll even show slightly more detail throughout some of the rooms, especially as I change things and style and stuff. But yeah, if you guys have any topics of interest for pregnancy, gearing up to have a baby, baby shower, anything like that, let me know and I'd be happy to create content around that, because obviously it's a really exciting, fun part of life, and I would love to share some of it with you guys. I also am going to be going on a couple trips coming up. I'm going to New York in a couple days, and then I'm also going to Chicago at the end of August, so maybe I will share some of that with you guys. But I would generally really like to come back to YouTube, and I always love looking back at my videos, and I always regret when I go long periods of not filming. So this is such an exciting time, and I would love to document it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much to all my OG subscribers that are still subscribed to me, even though I'm not making videos. I really appreciate you guys sticking around and still supporting me. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I should be seeing you guys real soon.